And now to introduce our expert. Kayla Alexander is a security consultant for Envera Systems. Based in the DFW Metroplex, she is familiar with the unique security needs and challenges of both urban and suburban communities. Her passion is designing efficient, elegant solutions that make life easier for residents and community managers alike. As a mother of 5 children, yes, I said 5 children, she is an industry certified expert in rolling with the punches, cleaning up messes, and keeping her sense of humor intact. Welcome, Kayla. We're really excited to have you here today.
Thank you, Megan. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy so many of y'all could join us. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All good. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about trends in community security, specifically advancements in technology and how that has changed the community security industry. Okay, let's start with why communities invest in security. Obviously, the first reason is protection. You want to protect your people first and foremost, but also the amenities and the assets of the community. Gates, pools, clubhouses, pickleball courts, all of these things. This is going to help mitigate risk, increase property value, deter trespassers, prosecute those trespassers, and it also helps protect against the soft costs, providing you with future savings. Fun fact, the average dollar loss per burglary is about $2,500, according to the FBI. So multiply that through years, and that's a whole lot of soft costs adding up. Last, but definitely not least, it provides peace of mind for the homeowners, the HOA board, and the property managers. What areas do communities need to secure? Gated entrances would be the first one in a gated community, but also amenities. Again, pools, sports courts, clubhouses, fitness centers, and any other community assets. How do communities secure each location? Through technology, natural, or human methods. Really, best is a combination of all. A security plan can be designed. Every security plan must address 4 things: prevention or delay, detection, response, and evidence. With technological advancements over the past 10 to 15 years, as well as societal and environmental changes, there's been a shift to secure locations remotely, even at communities. This is a shift for nearly all industries, and it typically means a variation of remote guarding via visitor verification or access management, real-time response through video surveillance, and database management. Let's talk about the concept of remote guarding. Remote guarding utilizes trained agents who are connected to a community via internet and power. This is using advanced technology combined with human intervention and real-time communication with a site. Central stations for remote guarding are the best way to do this. A central station is comprised of a group of trained agents and other departments to support the technology and connections. The benefits of this are myriad. It helps share responsibilities, so the guards themselves, as well as the managers, are constantly supervised. They're checking cameras, checking hard drives, pulling video, managing the database, and cycling power and internet remotely to make sure that all the equipment. Are we back? Y'all can see?
We're back.
Perfect. Awesome. Let's pick up where we left off, and I apologize for that. Okay, so the benefits for this remote guarding. If someone calls in sick, the guarding service doesn't stop. You also have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year monitoring capabilities. You're going to get detailed reporting, ongoing training. This can be consolidated and manage a community database, and multiple areas can be monitored at one time. So you're not limited to where one guard can physically be. This can work in conjunction with on-site guards and local law enforcement. This is especially important when it comes to a verified response time. So when police respond to emergencies, if it's a verified emergency in progress, you're going to get a response time that's about half what it would normally be. And it's also a fraction of the cost of on-site security services. There are many remote guarding types. Categories include object removal, inventory tracking, camera tours, escorts, police dispatch. Specific to Got all those. Let's start with community gate guarding virtually. So this provides access management for gated communities. Trained remote guards will greet and screen visitors. Meanwhile, there's audio and video recording that captures and archives transactions. You're going to get a record of visitor faces, license plates, audio and video for the visitor, as well as the remote guard. This is also going to capture the metrics and data of all visitor activity. So you'll have an actual record of each permitted or denied visitor, and it provides you with a faster overall process. You get heightened security with visitor verification and huge cost savings to communities. Common gate guard system enhancements, driver's license technology. This verifies drivers by entering their ID. The driver's name is cross-referenced with databases using optical character recognition. Permitted repeat visitors can be granted automatic entry, so they don't have to stop and have that interaction with the guard. This expedites the process, and it is the most secure form of visitor verification. You can also use license plate technology. This verifies each vehicle entering. The license plate is cross-referenced with the database, again using optical character recognition. Permitted repeat visitors can be granted automatic entry here as well, and it is an expedited process. We also have seen an advancement in QR code technology. This verifies visitors by a code presented at the entrance. Authorized codes will open the gate when scanned. It's typically sent to guests by a resident via email or text. Generally, you're looking at a one-time use QR code. And again, it expedites the process. Combining remote visitor management with on-site guards. This is a great solution for communities who really want all the benefits that come with remote guarding, but like that personal touch, the concierge of having an actual real guard there. So on-site guards and virtual guards can split shifts, can split monitored areas, and secure all areas, again, 24/7, 365. On-site guards and virtual guards should use a consolidated database. This is a very important point. You don't want your two guards using different databases. That way, your verified visitors are all in that database, as well as your property officials' contact information, resident contact information, and it provides one system for residents and the community. Hybrid guarding benefits. Multiple areas can be monitored at one time. Multiple incidents can be taken care of and responded to at one time. On-site patrols don't respond to false alarms, so that you're not wasting time and money. It provides peace of mind for residents and more community savings. Community portals with remote security. So these are websites or apps designed for users to access information by computer or smartphone to sync with a virtual or hybrid gate system. The users control who is and isn't verified. It can allow viewing of visitor history. It also helps provide property managers with updated profile information of users. You can view important contacts, and it enhances guard capabilities at an entrance, allowing them to focus on unverified visitors instead of wasting their time on visitors that have already been verified by the community. Let's talk about passive video surveillance. So this is the kind of video surveillance that we're all familiar with, where the camera is constantly recording overall areas, gates, non-gated entrances, pools, parks, fitness centers. Specialized cameras capture specifics, for example, license plates. With remote guards, passive video surveillance can provide a number of benefits. The remote guards can do routine maintenance checks on all the equipment, check for incidents, pull video and vehicle owner information, and it relieves the property managers and board members of time-consuming duties with remote teams that specialize in this area. So specific for property managers, this helps you not waste half your day looking for a video, right? I mean, if you can just send an email and say, please send me this footage and have it back in 24 hours, that's going to save y'all a lot of headaches. Let's talk about virtual guarding with artificial intelligence. So this is preventative protection of community assets. We see this most commonly at pools, sports courts, fitness centers, trash areas, high traffic parking areas. We all know catalytic converters are an area of concern. It helps to actively monitor an amenity with active video surveillance. So this uses a combination of smart cameras with AI intelligence and microphones and speakers that provide two-way audio. The guard's voice down to deter trespassers. So let me explain how this would work in the case of a pool. So in the case of a pool, they would when the pool is closed, let's say 10 p.m., an artificial intelligence barrier would be drawn around that pool. If a human crosses that line, an alert would come up on the guard's computer and that video would pop up. The guard would be able to voice down and say, "This area is closed, please leave." Because the audio is two-way, usually the guard will hear some variation of, "Oh, that's just a recording." The guard will then voice down and say, "No, you in the purple hoodie, I see you and hear you. This is a real person. This area is closed, leave or I'll call the police." And then the guard can actually notify the police and provide that faster verified response time. So active video surveillance is always recording, just like passive video. It's only active during scheduled hours. This is really important to be able to set those hours with your security company of choice. For example, if you have a pool that closes at 10, but a fitness center that is open 24/7, you want to make sure there is a difference between the hours because nobody wants to be in the fitness center and get kicked out. The guards do voice down to deter trespassers. It helps reduce trespassing and vandalism at key amenities, helps prevent property damage costs, and it is a fraction of the cost of roving guards. It can also work in conjunction with roving patrols. And it does provide that verified alarm for law enforcement or on-site security. Things to look for in any remote security provider. You want to look at the number of years they've been in the business. This is new-ish technology, and there are a lot of companies attempting to break into the market. However, given the limits of technology, a newer company is probably not going to be able to give you as effective and comprehensive a service as you would want. So number of years is very important. Customer referrals, incredibly important. Any security company should be able to provide you with a list of referrals from active communities. Disaster recovery agreement in place. So this would be a disaster recovery agreement for where your community is located. Here in Texas, you want to have something in place in case of another snowpocalypse. And if your company is located, let's say in New York, you want to make sure that they have something in place for whatever disasters happen in New York. Can you tell I'm not familiar with New York? Yeah. You also want to make sure they provide remote monitoring and that it is in-house. They're not outsourcing to another remote guarding company. That way you have a one-stop shop. We like to say you want to look for one hand to shake and one throat to choke. Very important. You also want to look at the certification, not only of the company itself, but of their guards. You want to make sure service and maintenance is included. With remote guarding, the integrity of the equipment is of utmost importance. It needs to be serviced and maintained regularly in order to provide you with the level of security you are looking for. And you want to make sure that your information is being protected. Is the database encrypted? Does this company have their own secure servers so no one can get access to the community information? So important considerations to wrap up. If you are interested in remote guarding for your community, talk to a number of security companies. Don't just go with the first one you find. Get a feel for the range of systems available. Compare features and benefits of equipment offered. And always remember that annual funds need to be allocated for maintenance, upgrading, and eventual equipment replacement. Even the best camera will go down. If it doesn't go down, it eventually will be outdated and you will need to upgrade your equipment. And that is all I have for you. I would love to open it up for any questions y'all might have.
Okay, our first question is, how do internet outages or Wi-Fi instability affect the reliability of remote security?
That is a great question. It's one we run into a lot. So internet outages are tricky. Wi-Fi instability, less so. So let's start with the easier one. When it comes to Wi-Fi instability, you really want to look for a company that hardwires all of their equipment. Any company that uses remote relays or Wi-Fi signals, as opposed to hardwiring their equipment directly into the internet, is not going to be able to provide you with the definite for sure amount of coverage that you need. When it comes to internet outages, we always recommend that there be a second internet line in case of an outage. That is a community specific decision, but since y'all are all property managers, please remember that internet outages are something a security company can't control. So having that backup internet line is really for your protection.
Great. The next question is, how do power outages affect the reliability of remote security?
Another great question. I wish I had a great answer for this, but the reality is that power outages happen. They are an act of God and or the power company and or the Texas power grid, and we can't control them. So in the event of a power outage, usually the security company should be notifying you. They should know ahead of time, not ahead of time, but they should know the second you have an outage, and they should be calling you and saying, there's an outage. We've already called the power company. Go ahead and contact them. We're working together to get this fixed. However, there needs to be a means of free egress, which means all gates and any access control need to let the doors open. So that's one thing to look for in a security provider. Make sure that they have their system set up to open everything in the case of a power outage, because the last thing you want is residents trapped inside a community unable to get out.
We've got a comment from Harry. He says the advent of 5G wireless may help replace wired connections. In DFW, the 5G is starting to provide best of class service.
That is very exciting, and it's definitely something we're looking into. I know a lot of companies in this industry are looking into wireless connections. As of yet, we haven't been able to see the kind of stability we need, but that is something that's on our radar. Most security companies who do remote guarding would have a research and development department, and they're usually testing every new advent of Wi-Fi to see if it does provide a better solution.
Great. Okay, our next question is about remote guards. They want to know, don't you lose the human factor with the remote guard?
Yes, the short answer is yes, you do lose the human factor. You are talking to a human, but it's not the same as that person being in front of you. That's why a lot of companies will offer that hybrid solution, which is really the best of all worlds. This way you have one guard who hopefully knows your community, is the face of your community, and he could be there for 8 hours a day. But then in those off hours, when you don't need that guard there all the time, you can have remote agents take over. So you're not losing the human factor, but you are increasing the security and the reliability of your guards, because the overnight shift is really the hardest to staff.
Do we have any other questions? Let's give it a minute. Let's see. It doesn't look like we have any other questions. So with that, we will sign off. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We will have this posted on our website if you ever need to refer back to it. Under castlegroup.com, you can go to resources, and this will live evergreen. So it will be out there for if you ever need to refer someone to it or go back to it, it will be there for you. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Kayla.
Thank you. Happy to be here.